Hey everyone, I am Sanket Singh. I'm working as a software engineer at Google and welcome back to my channel. So guys, in this video, we are going to talk about one of the most important and one of the most asked questions about referrals, right? So referrals is something that a lot of student doesn't exactly understand what they are, how to get a referral, how they are important in your overall career, and what is the best way to ask for a referral, and why people will refer you. All of these kind of questions we are going to tackle in this video, right? This video, I would say, is going to be quite an informative one. Why? Because this all of these things that I'm going to tell you, I implemented each and everything exactly the same way during my college days also, right? So probably this is going to be something that is going to help you in shaping up your career, and definitely the video might help you to get more referrals, to get more opportunities in the upcoming future. So without any further delay, let's just start. But before starting the video, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, do consider subscribing to the channel by hitting that red subscribe button and definitely hitting the bell icon so that you can get all the notification about the videos that I am going to put on this channel. So let's just start. So what exactly are referrals? So referrals, in a simple word, is going to be a reference that is given by someone for you, right? For example, let's say if you are good at something, let's say if you are good at painting and some of my friends wants to buy some painting, then I will refer your name that, hey, this guy or a girl is a very good painter and has got some masterpiece of painting projects. How about you can buy someone from him or her, right? So this is the same thing that happens in the companies and startups also. So let's say the company wants to hire some folks for, let's say, a software engineer profile or a product engineer profile. So what happens is the people who are already working in the company are someone who have been through the whole process of the hiring, are contributing to the overall product of the company and the overall tech of the company. So what company asks their employees is if they have someone who they can refer to the company and the hiring team so that they can hire and get an interview for them, that can be suitable for the company, right? So companies expect their employees to drop referrals for potential candidates who are, like, what they think of is their candidates are going to always refer someone who is capable of doing the same job, because probably they have worked with them somewhere sometime, or maybe studied with them somewhere sometime, or are closely related with them, right? So they find potential candidates in these kind of scenarios, right? Okay, now if the company is hiring and let's say the person who is already working in the company is ready to refer some people, then they are going to drop your referrals. Dropping a referral means they are going to share your profile maybe on a portal or directly to the hiring manager or directly to the HR that, hey, I believe this guy or a girl is a good fit for the corresponding position and will be a potential candidate as well. Now, a referral doesn't mean that you are going to get a guaranteed interview. Mind my words. It doesn't mean the fact that you are definitely going to get an interview. A referral means that, let's say, if 10 people are applying to a position and among those 10 there are 5 people who got a referral from someone already working in the company, then there is a very highly likely chance that the hiring managers and the HRs are going to consider their profiles before the rest of the 5 people, right? So there is a guarantee, like a very highly likely chance that your profile will be read, noticed, and your resume will be read by the HR, right? Otherwise, if you don't have a referral and you directly apply to the company portal, there is a very high probability that your resume will go into some I would say mailbox or something, and no one is going to notice that. But if you have a referral, then that means the fact that somebody in the hiring team is definitely going to notice you. Probably if, let's say, they notice you and they don't find you as a good fit, but probably there is a chance that they will be having your profile in your mind, and later if some other opportunities come up, let's say in a week or in a month, then definitely they are going to consider your profile. So there is a very high chance that your profile is going to be considered for the same role or some similar roles, right? But it doesn't mean the fact that you are going to get a guaranteed job interview. So this is what referrals are, right? Now we are going to talk about what are some good ways and what are some things that you need to keep in your mind while asking a referral. So guys, in my opinion, if you will ask me, then the easiest way to get a referral is through LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a social media platform owned by Microsoft, mainly for professionals. So LinkedIn is a platform where people collaborate as a working professional, right? So you can ask for referrals with the corresponding employees of the company on which you are going to apply to via LinkedIn only. So this is the same thing that I used to do. I used to send requests to tons and tons of people of various companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Adobe, right? All of these big tech giants and big startups. I used to send a lot of requests on LinkedIn, right? So let's say if you send 100 requests to 100 different employees of a company, let's say Adobe, then there is a chance that around 20 to 30 people are going to accept your request. Now, among those 20 to 30 people, around 4 to 5 people are going to reply when you are going to ask for a referral, and among those 4 to 5 people, probably one or maybe two people are going to refer you for some corresponding position. So I have seen that this is the kind of filtration that happens, right? Okay, so LinkedIn is the platform where you need to make a profile, right? Have a decent profile on LinkedIn. Whatever things you have done, let's say an internship or any working experience you have, any projects that you have, certifications you have, your resume, your I would say agenda while you are applying, everything should be properly updated on LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn is a very important platform that you need to grow for yourself, and I believe that there are a lot of information that you can't write on resume but you can write on LinkedIn. So your LinkedIn profile should be as maintained as possible, right? It is as important as your GitHub profile. Okay, when you have a good LinkedIn profile, what next? As I said, try to send requests to as many people as possible. Now there is a cap on daily requests that you can send. So what I used to do was around second year and third year, I used to daily send around 20-30 requests to different kind of people. So this was a habit that I made, right? That every day at least 20-30 requests I am going to send at least. Before moving forward, I would like to thank the sponsor of this video, that is Cryo.do. So I personally believe that all the students, instead of focusing just on how to get a job, they should focus on how to become a better engineer. And I believe personally that in order to become a very good engineer, you should be good at problem solving. And what's the better way to learn problem solving than project-based learning? And Cryo.do is bringing you a very immersive experience on project-based learning. So at Cryo.do, you can have specific tracks which are going to focus on exact real-life projects, real-life work experience, and job-ready portfolios. Cryo.do is something that is recognized by the industry. Even with companies like Flipkart, they run their own programs where they train the employees and the new software engineers of Flipkart. And you can get a similar experience by enrolling to their programs, which are basically focused on project building, project-based learning, where you are going to be enrolled in one of the projects, which are going to be a very industry-ready project. And you are going to realize that what caveats, what checks are being done when you exactly build a similar product in the industry. You are going to have a similar team, you are going to have similar features to implement, and that is going to give you a very immersive and skill-based learning, right? The whole program is much more practical oriented rather than theory. So what are you waiting for? You can use the code in the description section to avail a 10% discount on their programs and start your project-based learning with Cryo.do. Now, what happened was within an year and year and a half, I got a lot of connections in my LinkedIn profile. Now, what's the best part about it is, if someone is not in your connection, you can't directly message them, right? There are some 5 to 6 free messages that you can do, otherwise you won't be able to message them. But if someone is already in your connection, you can directly chat with them. So this was the something that really benefited me. So what used to happen was, if anytime, let's say I see any opening from Amazon or Google or Microsoft or any of these kind of companies, I used to go to my LinkedIn profile, search for people who are in my connection and are working at those companies, and I used to ask for referrals, right? So this is the second step I believe that you need to do. Okay, now after getting your connection request accepted, you need to keep an eye around all the positions that are coming up. Okay, now as soon as they are up, you need to choose which position you want to apply for. Now a big mistake that a lot of people do is they don't send the position that they want to apply to and just directly ask for referral for any position. See, no one is having that much time that in this whole entire world you are going to message them and they are going to find some positions for you and then refer you. If you have already found some position, it is really easy to refer using the internal portals or directly messaging your profile to the HR, right? So find a profile that you want to apply for. Okay, as soon as you have done that, try to write a concise, humble message on LinkedIn. In your message, you should mention about the fact that what you have done, right? Why you feel you are a good fit for the role, and do mention the link of the role that you want to apply to, and send it to all of your connections who are working in that company. As I said, if let's say there are 30 connections, around 5 to 7 people are going to reply to you, because just assume the same fact that like you, a lot of people are messaging them for referrals. They can't refer everyone, right? So probably around 5 to 7 people are going to reply you back. They will assess your profile, and then based on your profile will try to give you referral, right? Don't be I would say arrogant in your messages while asking for a referral, because they have cleared the same interview process. They know what the company asked for. If your resume is lacking that, they will definitely give a feedback, but don't take it on your heart that this person didn't refer me. I will also not refer anyone, so on and so forth. Don't keep hard feelings for anyone. I will tell you why someone would like to refer you, but you need to keep this thing in your mind that if someone is even dedicating 1 minute of their whole day to you, you definitely owe them, right? And that's a very big thing. That was a very big thing for me, that at least people used to reply. So even if someone is replying but is not giving you referral, be humble. Just say that, okay, next time I'll try my best, and try to message as many people as possible. Definitely your luck is going to work, right? Okay, now if let's say they refer you, so getting referrals I would say is of multiple ways. So some people will refer you in their internal portals. Some people are going to refer you like directly to the HR or the hiring manager. They can send directly mails. In startup generally this happens because they don't have a dedicated portals and all. So with the referral, as soon as the referral is in place, then you should apply to the same position with the same profile that you shared with them, so that your profile can get into the system and the referral process can start. So this is the whole way how you should ask for a referral. Now, why would someone refer you? Now, there is a very basic, simple logic. I would like to put forward 2 points. First, probably they know that it is hard to get opportunities off campus, right? It is hard to get opportunities if you directly apply to the careers website, and they want to help you, and probably someone helped them also, right? Like in my case, I also got help from a lot of people. They referred me, right? Apart from that, if you are able to clear the interview and you are referred by someone, then the person who referred you gets a referral bonus, and generally it's a very significant amount, and it gets credited if the candidate joins the company as well, right? So they are also having a monetary benefit, and apart from that, there are some ethical things that a lot of people feel, and definitely I can see that at least in India, people generally do refer you. They are very generous. If you will ask the referral the right way, if you will write the good message, definitely they are going to refer you. So this was like my opinion on why someone would be willing to refer you. Now, what should be on your profile if you want to get some referrals? Now, a lot of people think that if you're not a 6-star coder or not a 7-star coder, you won't get a referral. I believe that's a complete myth. Why I feel that? See, if someone is referring you and they have not directly worked with you, then they are going to judge you based on your whatever projects or whatever consistency you have shown in your overall college journey or in your career. That contribution and consistency includes projects also, competitive programming contributions also, your open source contributions also. Even if you are writing technical blogs, that also counts. Like whatever activities you have done, whatever you are mentioning in resume, they are going to take up a cumulative call. It's not like if you are not a 7-star or 6-star, you won't get a referral. That's not like that. Why people write competitive programming profiles in their resume and why they should write it, why you should write it? Because it shows consistency, that you are consistent with problem solving, right? You have tried problem solving, you have done problem solving. You are not like the bottom 1% of the whole population of computer science, you are definitely trying your best in order to be good at problem solving. And apart from that, you have also done a bit of projects, you have done a bit of open source contribution, you have done a bit of internships. All of these things are going to matter. Not only your competitive programming profiles, first thing. Second thing, your college also doesn't matters always, because the people you are going to ask for referral might not be from the tier 1 colleges of India, right? So people generally don't bias based on college, right? Okay, but let's say that if you are able to find someone who is from your college only, then that increases the chance that they will reply to you, and definitely they will refer you and vouch for you, right? So I believe these are some things that you need to make sure in your profile. Apart from that, having some good projects also ensure the fact that you have some hands-on experience with software development. If you have some internship, then that shows the fact that you have worked in a team, worked for a product, have a product kind of a mindset. These things, all of these things are going to come, right? Not only one. If you are only a competitive programmer or just you are doing projects, I believe having a balanced profile works a lot, right? So have let's say CodeChef or Codeforce's profile in your resume. Maybe you are not a 6-star, only a 2-star also. A lot of students ask me, I'm just a 2-star, should I mention? Yes, you should mention, because you are at least trying hard, right? You are at least being consistent in the problem solving effort. So do mention it. If you have done any internships, paid, unpaid, whatever you have done, you should mention about that, right? If you, whatever college you are in, whatever CGPA you are having, whatever year you are going to graduate in, everything you need to mention in your resume. If you want to have a dedicated insight on how you should build your resume, I have made a dedicated video on that. You can check that in the cards. But I believe having a balanced profile works very, very well in the overall referral process. So there are a lot of cases when people might not refer you, like you might have made some mistake, or maybe your profile is not relevant. So we are going to discuss about that as well. So a lot of time what students do is they don't share the job link or the job profile or the job ID at which they want to apply for. As I already mentioned, no one is having this much time that they are going to go to the internal portal and search for a job for someone unknown, right? So it's always good to have a job ID or a job link or a job position handy with you that you can directly send to them and ask that, can you please refer me directly to this position, right? So this is going to be something very, very important. Apart from that, make sure the resume that you are sharing is oriented towards the position you are applying for, right? So that the person who is going to read your resume and going to refer you, they should get a feeling that, okay, the guy or the girl whom I am referring is suitable for the position, right? And you should also mention some pointers that why you feel that your experience or your projects or whatever you have done makes sense for the position and why you would be a good fit for the role. Writing a small line on this will definitely help you a lot. Apart from that, the overall message that you are going to frame should be, I would say, a bit on the humble side. The overall tone should be humble. Try to get follow-ups, right? So there can be a thing that, let's say you shared your profile and someone from in the front said that, okay, I'll refer you, and they maybe forgot, right? Because they have their own tasks, they have their own family, they have their own life, right? So there can be a case that they maybe forgot, or there was some technical complication and they thought that they will later refer you. So always try to have follow-ups, right? If you want follow-up, that hey, I asked for a referral and you said you are going to drop a referral, I didn't get any mail, so can you please check back, so on and so forth. Because 99% of the time, if someone has referred you, then probably you are going to get an automated mail or a mail from an HR. So like after 2 to 3 days, try to have some follow-ups. Don't forget about the fact that, okay, I sent a message to someone and it is their duty to refer me. No. It is your duty to take follow-ups. It is your duty to make sure the fact that you are in regular communication with someone who is going to refer you, right? Apart from that, you can even get clarity about the rounds after getting a referral. So a lot of times students try to ask at the same moment, okay, what questions can be asked, so on and so forth. You should wait for the fact that first you get a call and HR is going to explain you everything about the rounds, and you don't need to bother the person who is referring you for that, right? Because they might have given the rounds 2-3 years back and things might have changed here currently. So these are some common mistakes that I feel students make, right? Okay. Apart from that, there is one specific pointer that I would like to mention. Try to get referrals from a bit senior developers and senior engineers. If engineering manager, that's the best. Why? Because they are in the company for a longer period of time, they have a better say in the management, and they know how to judge good people, right? Software engineer, like I have seen, like if you get a referral from a software engineer, or if you get a referral from an engineering manager, then getting a referral from an engineering manager is having a higher probability of getting a call. I have seen a lot of times that if you ask for a referral from an engineering manager, they directly send your message or send your profile to the HR via mail, and even the process gets escalated, right? Otherwise, if you will go with the regular process, it can take some time. But if the manager feels that, okay, this is one of the very attractive profiles that I have seen, and I want this person into my team, if they are able to clear the interview, then they ask the HR and the process is even escalated, right? So I would say that try to get referrals from as senior positions as possible. So this was my views on how to get referrals and what are the things that you might be doing wrong while getting a referral, right? So I hope that overall video was useful for you, and you got some insights around how to get referrals, how this off-campus scenario is going to be resolved using referrals, right? Because I believe that if referrals won't be there, then a lot of people might not get good opportunities so quickly. Nowadays, people are referring each other, and I believe this is something really good that is happening in the community, right? So if you are going to apply for the jobs on your own, you are not going to sit in your campus, or let's say if you're already a working professional, then you have to apply on your own. In all of these kind of scenarios, referrals are going to play a very, very important role. So that was it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed the overall video. If yes, then don't forget to drop a comment, and don't forget to drop a like on the video, and share this video with all of your friends, right? We are going to put some awesome content on this channel. Apart from that, do drop your thoughts that what other videos you want to see on this channel. We would be really happy to make that, and we will meet very, very soon in the other videos. Till then, take care guys, bye bye, have a great week ahead, and love you all.